After eons of tyranny, the demon god Adyr was finally overthrown by humanity. Though fear of his terrible power endured. And so was formed the hallowed sentinels. Our duty being to stand vigil for signs of his return. Even exile to another realm could not silence the fallen god forever. And in time, Adyr's malignant influence pervaded the world once more. In his hunger for vengeance, Adyr orchestrated the return of his demonic army. Light was swallowed by shadow, and with it, hope. A new, grim champion arises, the Dark Crusader. And perhaps it will indeed come to pass that only they who shun the light in order to fight the darkness possess the power to defy a god.
Well, how about that for an opening? Although it is a little jarring to then come right to the main title without any music. Hey everyone, it's BlueLizardJello, and welcome to Lords of the Fallen. But Blue, didn't I see you cover that all the way back in 2014? You sure did. Great memory. Lords of the Fallen has kind of an interesting past. The original was developed by both Deck 13 and CI Games, and it was not the best received. Now, I will say that Deck 13 has really made some huge strides in the Surge and the Surge 2, and then Atlas Fallen just recently, but it was described, and perhaps rightfully so, as clunky souls, and I felt similarly during my playthrough, which, by the way, you can find on the channel. I'll put a link in the description below. But then, a sequel was announced in 2015 with a planned release for 2017, but here we are, 8 years after its announcement. 2 developers later, because there was actually a developer in the interim, and CI Games actually said, you know what, you haven't made any progress, we're going to go with someone else. In fact, CI Games created their own developer studio, which is Hexworks, in order to create the game that we have before us, and it is made entirely in Unreal Engine 5, so this should be very, very interesting. It releases on October 13, 2023 for PC, PS5, and the Xbox Series X and S, and I do have to give a huge shout out to the wonderful people at CI Games for bringing me into their partner program and for getting me an early copy of Lords of the Fallen. Alright, so we are going to go through some menus rather quickly here, so adjust the brightness until the icon is barely visible. There's an icon? Oh, there it is. Well, I like to keep it rather bright because YouTube does tend to make it dark anyway, so I'll just keep it at default. I'm okay with keeping those changes. Our 3D photos, excuse me. So I have not booted this up at all, so you are seeing me start from absolute scratch. So before we go into new game, let's take a quick look at settings. There's screen calibration, graphics. Now I am playing on the PS5, which I have heard has some FPS issues, but there's a day one patch coming that should fix a lot of that. So of course we have render mode, quality or performance. I typically like to go for performance, hopefully for a more stable frame rate. Motion blur off, film grain, Interesting, that is on by default. I'll leave it on for now, but we'll play around with it to see, and you can tell me which you like. We'll apply those. I don't necessarily want to apply those on every menu. I would like to just do that at the end. So I'll leave the master volume at 100. However, I'm going to reduce everything else just a little bit, just so we can make sure that we're focusing on especially voices. Environmental, we can turn down a bit, bring that down maybe to 86. DualSense speakers, oh boy. I actually don't want that to come through at all, if I'm being honest. I want this to strictly come through the game itself. But I'm afraid if I set this to 0, I'm going to be missing out on some things. Let's see if there's anything maybe in gameplay that can change that. So we're not going to invert anything. Controller vibration, I'll leave to on, that's fine. Auto change target, that's okay. Grievous strike lock on. Performing a stab on a target cancels lock on. Grievous strike, I'm assuming, is going to be something like a critical or a fatal strike. I'll leave that off by default. Camera speed, typically like to bump that up a little bit. Grievous strike camera, so probably like cinematic kills. Camera shake off, prioritize quick shot. When locked onto an enemy, precision aiming is deactivated in favor of quick shot. Release the lock on to enable precision aiming. Okay, deactivating will always trigger precision aiming. That might actually be helpful. I'm not sure. Tutorials I'm going to leave on. Subtitles on. Medium is fine. And multiplayer, oh boy. Activate or deactivate. Note, offline mode will switch off all online features. Shrines, co-op, PvP, and revenges. I'm going to leave it on for now. I don't have any intentions of doing any co-op during this first initial blind run, but it might be interesting to see Blue get invaded. We'll see. I don't know if I have to actually accept invaders or if they can invade just like in the Souls games. I'm not sure. Crossplay is fine. Session password, don't need it. I'm a little bit worried about the DualSense speaker volume. Unfortunately, I can't find any way to completely disable this. I've turned it off because I don't want it coming through the volume. I looked into it a bit, and I guess there are some things like your footsteps and some weapons. Even magic attacks will come through the controller speaker. I hope it's not a necessity because I think that would just be getting really jumbled in the actual recording. Now, 3D photos. All 3D photos are stored here and can be 3D edited anytime. So there's going to be a photo mode exclusive content, okay? I do have the deluxe edition, thanks again to CI Games. Well, I guess that's it. So let's jump right in. I don't know if we're going to go right into a character creator, but let's find out. Ages pass, distorting self-delusion into faith, with few obtaining the revelations they so desperately seek. In a conflict between the divine, are mortals mere pawns? Whether the flesh of gods or death itself, all will be consumed. For she must feed.
Boris, forgive me. Let's steer this weapon of deliverance to a worthier servant than I.
Possessed the metal for this Crusader. You failed.
If I had to guess, we're going to be the one to get that new lamp. All right. Oh boy, that's a lot of starting classes. Well, I'm going to be taking my time. If you want to skip right to the action, gonna have to click ahead. If I had the time to do chapters, I would. Maybe I will, who knows. But I want to learn a little bit about what we're jumping into. So, Dark Crusader. A paladin of the Dark Crusaders, an elite military order in service to the Church of Orion Radiance, spreading the teachings of the Church and Aureus via whatever means necessary. A physically powerful class suitable for those who favor a more aggressive approach. So we have 6 stats: Strength, Agility, Endurance, Vitality, Radiance, and Inferno. Now, I don't see any contextual help here where I can hover over anything. No. Okay, so I can't really tell what exactly we're starting with. I can see obviously a sword and an empty hand, some sort of ribbony thing, armor, starting items, etc. Okay. Then we have the Hallowed Knight, a stalwart knight whose loyalty to the cleric and the Hallowed Sentinels is matched only by their determination to destroy Adyr and the Rogar, a class focused on physical prowess bolstered by Radiance. Udaranger Warwolf. That guy's looking pretty cool. A hardened champion from the land of Udaranger who has proven themselves worthy of their people's honored rank of Warwolf by completing the requisite ancient trial, one which few survive. A devastating but lightly armored class driven by raw strength for good or ill. Partisan. A dutiful Mornstead fighter whose sorrow at the ruination of their kingdom by occupying forces only fuels their defiant struggle in its name, whether fighting up close with their steel flail. I want to see the flail. Oh, let me see it. Nah, if it doesn't swing, I don't want it. Or from range with a crossbow. A strong and dependable all-rounder class. Mornstead Infantry. A seasoned Mornstead foot soldier whose time in the mud and blood and tumult of battle taught them the value of agility, speed, and keeping the enemy at a distance. A class for those who favor dexterity and light defense over strength and bulkier armor. Blackfeather Ranger. Oh, you look great. You're like Black Ferris. A member of the elite band of rangers who patrolled the forest of the Fief of Kinranger before a terrible curse born of grief lay waste to their home. An accessible class ideal for those who prefer versatility over a more focused approach. Exiled Stalker. Oh, this is going to be tough to beat. Advanced class? What does that mean? A formal imperial assassin. Their downfall and subsequent banishment from their homeland has made of them a nomadic cutthroat, killing swiftly and efficiently for nothing more than coin. A challenging class to master, but also a lethally effective one. Orion Preacher. A wandering preacher whose unshakable faith in the divine will of Aureus guides their way while they spread his holy light. A physically vulnerable class reliant on radiance, whether for protection or searing the sinful flesh of heretics. Pyrrhic Cultist. A fervent worshipper of Adyr who has sworn to see the natural order finally restored and humanity's one true god returned to his rightful place as their ruler. A high-risk class reliant on proficiency in Inferno. And Condemned. So Condemned, this is going to be like your level 1 character, 9s in every stat. A wretched prisoner who has suffered indescribable torments, whether there was ever any truth in their guilt or not. A class for those who would rage at fate and throttle adversity with unflinching, blood-soaked hands. Pick at your own risk. He starts with a bucket. Ooh, I don't know. Exiled Stalker is looking really, really tempting. I love those daggers. And dexterity tends to be my jam. 16 agility is pretty good. How about the Warwolf again? Do love that sword. Oh, then again, there's the Dark Crusader, and this just seems so kind of quintessential. I believe this is part of the deluxe edition, again, which I was gifted by CI Games. I don't want to look that in the mouth. I don't know. I don't want to lock myself out of some really, really cool weapons, but by golly, that is a good-looking class, isn't it? Let's go with my gut. Exiled Stalker it is. Right, so now I'm going to do just a little bit of character creation. I'm not going to have you sit through it, but I will bring you back just as soon as my character is ready. Welcome to Lords of the Fallen, Silverius. Now, it will be interesting to see just how well the tutorial goes with this advanced class.
Lo, the latest receiver of his grace. Great potential dwells within you, doubtless, for you to be chosen thusly. And so does Aurea's wisdom guide my hand in the bestowment of this subsequent boon. Your flesh has been made sacrosanct with the mark of the Dark Crusaders. Prove yourself worthy of this gift. Seek me in the bowels of the bridge. Our work is of the greatest import.
Oh, am I finally going to get control? Okay, here we are. Oh, already one thing that I love. Look in the top right. I assume that whatever that is the currency, the XP that I'm going to be collecting. And underneath, there's a multiplier. Now, I understand this wasn't made by Deck 13, but one thing that Deck 13 had, in at least their Surge games, was a collection multiplier. The longer you went without resting and without dying, the higher your multiplier got, so you could actually collect more of that resource as you went. It's a really nice risk-reward system. Let's take a look, though, at what we currently have on us. So we have Exiled Stalker Dagger, 2 of those. Okay. Dagger of an Imperial Assassin of Yasugan. While the Imperial Assassins of Yasugan focus on stealth and speed as the main tools of their work, they can also be deceptively strong, preparing themselves should a more direct confrontation be necessary. Now, I still don't see any contextual help, which is unfortunate. But let's see. So it's level 0, weight 1.2, it's a type dagger, rune slots 0, so some sort of rune implementation where you can maybe add new skills or stats to a weapon. Your stat attributes or your bonuses. I have nothing in Strength, Radiance, or Inferno, but I have a C in Agility. And then there are 6 different icons down below that, which must be some sort of elemental or debuff. Looks like maybe blood, light, fire, other fire, frost, poison. Well, I'm sure we'll learn more about that. It does have a requirement of 13 Agility, which I obviously have. Does have block protection, okay. Throwing hand? Okay, equip throwable items in this hand. Gotcha. So I have 3 hands. 1 each with a dagger and 1 that I can use to throw. That's how I roll anyway. But it looks like there's attack power anyway. Then I have a lacerating knife, which is a throwing knife. Why is that not in my throwing hand? I'm not sure. So this is bleed buildup. Okay, so we can see the 75 bleed buildup. So we do know that that is bleed. C- in strength, C+ in agility. All right. How many of these do I have? Or is it something that I can just repeat over and over? And then I have the exiled armor. And Yasugan, the Emperor's Court, and all of the attendant political intrigues have always been rife with ambition, treachery, and death, the direction of the entire county often being set with a word in the right ear or blade in the right heart. Okay, so damage resistances, or damage mitigation, you have physical, holy, fire, and wither. So one of those up here, there is probably wither. And then we have resistances to smite, bleed, burn, ignite, frostbite, and poison. Okay, 6 statuses there, 6 icons up there. So I think that's what it is. Smite, bleed, burn, ignite, frostbite, and poison. Now, what is the creepy little baby attached to an umbilical cord in between my stats and my item description? I don't know. Then I have Sanguinarix. Quick access item, a device used to administer Pieta's healing blood. Increase your radiance to gain further insight. Ooh, so there's going to be information that's locked behind radiance, so that's some sort of intellect or intelligence stat. Poison salts, increase inferno and radiance to gain further insight. Pouch of salts used to add poison status damage to a weapon. My encumbrance is medium. Below that, I guess I can go light and then up into heavy. So moving on over to our inventory. Oh boy. So whatever the XP system is, I need 1,882, I believe, in order to level on them. Judging that by the bar up in the top left. But then there's also a hand, I don't know, a bell, a shell, and looks like an amphipod on the right. Are those going to be upgrade items? Perhaps. I'm level 10. Current health 313, mana 200, maximum stamina 353. Item discovery is 1, not great. It's got to be said. And it looks like that has an ammo cost of 1, but how do I know what my ammo is? We do have some other items though. The Umbral lamp, so we just picked this up. A lamp crafted by Molu, last of the Nahuta. Contains a strange and ravenous light which allows its chosen bearer to not only enter and manipulate Umbral, the hidden realm beyond Axiom, but even resurrect upon death. And then the lamp bearer's rosary. A rosary given to you by Exactor Dunmire of the Dark Crusaders. Was that who was just talking to me? Exactor Dunmire? An elite military order in service to the Church of Orion Radiance, the Dark Crusaders spread the teachings of the Church and the radiant god Aureus. A small inscription on the back of the rosary reads, "Cleanse the 5 beacons." Oh, we got gestures. And that is all. All right. And now we have character. So our offensive stats, our defensive stats, not too much there. Okay. So let's just take a quick defiled sepulcher. Okay. So up in the top left, we have, okay, top bar health, next bar stamina. I'm guessing the one below that is either mana or ammo. We have a bag in the bottom left, and that is my, oh gosh, what is that called? That's called the Sanguinarix. That's my healing. So healing, poison salts, okay? Over on the right-hand side, I have the Umbral lamp, or I have my throwing hand. And then on the top right, again, we have the Essence collection. I don't know what those yet are called. Okay, so R1, of course, is going to be a light attack. Ooh, R2 has a really nice charge attack. Okay, nice small reticle. I dig that. And what do we get? A wooden cross. What kind of item is a wooden cross? Well, it's not part of my consumables. It's a melee weapon. It's an axe. Hallowed Sentinel cross made of wood, not designed as a weapon, but still capable of serving as one. It's actually not a bad weapon. It's not a bad weapon at all. Fascinating. Okay. I don't know if that's a guaranteed drop or not. Oh, I'm walking very slowly in the water here. Enervated Vigor Skull. Okay, so this looks like a consumable item for gathering what I imagine is going to be Vigor. Yes. Skull, almost empty of Vigor, grants 200 of Vigor. So that's what I'm collecting. That 87 up top, that is Vigor. Lock target. Yep. We have seen that a few times before. Can we sneak up on? Doesn't appear so. Okay, nice weighty attacks there. Now wait a minute, what is this that you've dropped? Or, oh, wait a minute. Is that their vigor? Do I actually have to collect it? That might be. What about breakables? Are there breakables that can contain items here? Well, there are breakables. Oh, no, it's one of those. You gotta actually click the left analog. Might play around with the settings and try to fix that. I don't like when it's the analog stick. Okay, at least this has dedicated jump. Now that is where I just was, though, right? Nope, there's an item. Forsworn. Not a consumable. It's an armor tinct. Allows you to change the color of your armor, really. While those who wield a blade for themselves might occasionally be condemned as being of low character, those who do so in the name of an approved creed or dogma often receive admiration instead, the screams of their victims drowned out by a chorus of righteous endorsement. I didn't know that there was some sort of armor tincting. I think that's great. I just did it again, and I apologize. I was just muting myself, and I was about to say, if you are familiar with the channel, then you might notice my voice is a little off. Yep, I am actually fighting a little bit of a throat issue, and my voice is nearly gone. But I was way too excited to play this not to just make it happen. Dash and roll. Okay, when locked on, you circle to dash. By double tapping, you can roll out of danger. Oh no, I always mess these up. Okay. Press to evade projectiles. Nice. Okay. So kind of a Bloodborne or, at this point, a Lies of P type dodge, where if you're unlocked, you roll. If you are locked on, then you dash. But you can also roll with a double tap. Okay. I love that each R1 is a double attack. Okay, inventory. We've already been looking around at that, so I think we're okay with that tutorial. A throwing rock. Okay. Imagine we can probably put that in our throwing hand? Or is that... Okay, no. I think the throwing hand just corresponds to this. That's what I think. So let's put that here. Ammo cost is 0. But how many do I have? Or am I just being foolish? It has an ammo cost, but it doesn't say how many I have. Maybe they're unlimited? Okay, so when I have my throwing hand equipped, range combat, yeah, well, I don't think I'm going to do all that well. Let's read about this. Press up to select range combat mode. In my case, it's going to be a throwing hand. If you had a crossbow or a bow, I imagine that's what we'd be using there. And press L2 to use the equipped long-range weapon or sorcery catalyst. All range attacks consume either ammunition or mana. Different ammunition types and spells have different costs. Oh, fascinating. Okay. For bows, crossbows, and throwables, keep L2 pressed to stay in range mode. The quick access menu shows how to switch between ammunition types. Use R1 for a quick shot and R2 to aim down the sights. Does my hand have sights? While locked onto an enemy, both are quick shots. For catalysts, use L2 pressed to stay in range mode. Quick access menu shows which button to press in order to cast each spell. Assign spells to each button through the equipment menu. Okay. Okay, so R1... Oh, shoot. That's not what I meant to do. Well, we'll just kill you. R1 was the quick shot, and then R2 would have been precision. So that... Okay. Why is my lamp glowing like that? As long as I have ammo in the top left, I can use that throwable. I don't actually have to collect more. Ooh. Select your Umbral lamp and raise it with L2 to peer into Umbral. What? An Umbral entity prevents your progress. Alright. Look at this. Oh, that's incredible. Wait, there's an item up there. I just realized that. Can I get back? No, game. Wait. maybe this isn't here? Drats. Alright. If you run into this yourself, there is an item up there and you probably have to do a precision attack. That is very cool. Now, let's try to do... Okay. Press L1 and R2 to perform a multi-hit. What? Alright, that was a very good attack, but that's a bizarre button combo. Attack combinations. All attacks can be combined to create unique combos, including both melee and ranged attacks. Additionally, melee stances can be switched dynamically with triangle. Oh no. To access a wider variety of attacks, experiment with equipping different melee and ranged weapons to create unique playstyles. I've never been very good at this. Oh, okay. So stance really at this point is just going to be two-hand or one-hand. Which I don't see... Oh, that was a big hit, huh? I don't see two-handing my daggers being particularly effective. Alright, I can go back here though, and I do. Wait, right? Right? There we go. Okay, so let's do up. And we're going to do precision. There we go. And a wooden cross, second one. What a cool mechanic though. Alright, I gotta switch back to my lamp. So in the Umbral world, that gate's not there. That is cool. Healing. The Sanguinarix is your primary healing tool and recharges automatically upon reviving. Other consumables are found in your quick access items. You can assign any consumables through the inventory. Yep, we've already been playing around with that. I guess it wants me to heal, huh? Umbral Rifting. Select your Umbral lamp and raise with L2. Rift by holding, oh gosh, square to transition to Umbral. Beware, as you can only exit Umbral at specific points. Oh dear. And now I'm stuck in here, so it's going to make me do it anyway, isn't it? Wow. What a mechanic. Now, what happens if I raise the lamp now? Does it go back into the world of the living? No. No, it does not. Wither Ward. Okay, probably some resistance amplifier, I would imagine. Tin of powder providing increased defense against withering. Yes, indeed. That's a different reticle. Are you friendly? Soulflay obstacles. Press the right analog to lock onto them. Select your Umbral lamp, raise it with L2, and soulflay the locked on target with R2. Oh my goodness, okay. Only slightly horrifying. Soulflaying enemies. Lock onto an enemy, select your Umbral lamp, raise with L2, and then press R2 to soulflay. While an enemy's soul is exposed, attack it to apply wither damage. Attack a withered enemy to inflict a large amount of damage. Okay. Try that. That did seem to be quite a bit of damage. Look at the hands attached to all these weirdo... Oh, bizarre. This is very unique to say the least. Siphoning. Good. More mechanics right away. Soulflaying an enemy soul consumes a soulflay charge. Oh. Select your Umbral lamp, raise it, siphon enemies in blisters with R1 to recover soulflay charge. Isn't this kind of like something like Shadow of Mordor had? Am I not wrong? Siphoning also provides additional withered health and gathers the vigor left by enemies in an area. So now we're talking about Sekiro. What? Okay, I do see my health is a little bit different up there. What is this? Oh, this is an Umbral blister. So, did I get anything? Didn't seem like it filled a charge. There's another Umbral blister. Okay, it is filling up. It's just kind of slow. Your health receives wither when entering Umbral or performing certain actions with your Umbral lamp. Withered health can be recovered by damaging enemies. However, you will lose it all instantly if you are struck. Yikes, okay. Alright, let's dodge. Oh! I completely misread that. Definitely carried a lot further in its attack. Well, death number 1 early on in the tutorial. I wonder how far back I go. Oh, very. Answer is very. Well, time to speedrun. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll go ahead and pause the recording and I'll bring you back as soon as I'm back to that location. Alright, coming back to where we just were. A couple more blisters. Now, I did get one item that I hadn't seen before. A small cluster of mana stones restores a small amount of mana over time. Certain parts of the world are richer in mana stone deposits than others. And while some attempts have been made to artificially replicate the material and its magical properties, none have been successful to date. Right, so we're going to... let's get the lamp back. And we're going to absorb all these, right? Or siphon, rather, I should say. Oh, and there's several here, I didn't realize. Alright, so let's go ahead. I want you to go ahead and attack. Good. Knock you out with one of my lamp attacks. Okay, good, solid kill. I'm not really seeing my withered health. Oh, recover vigor. Oh, because that's my death vigor. Right, okay. Okay, let's siphon. Okay, a couple of enemies here. Okay, get out of there. Careful, careful. We're good, we're good. Okay. My wither health, I think, is looking alright. Oh, and that gets me an item. What do we get? Saintly Quintessence. What, Bertel, is that? A relic used to upgrade the Sanguinarics. Okay. It's going to be interesting watching people decipher all the lore for this game, considering you actually have to level up certain stats just to read particular items. Okay, while falling R1 or R2 for a plunge attack. R2 are enemies down there, it seems. Oh. But you're going to change my camera angle when I do that. That's interesting and not in a great way. Another mana stone cluster or pair of them. Did I not need to come down here? When an enemy is soul flayed, they can be pushed in any direction with left analog. Really? Is there a reason I want to do that? Probably. That's really cool. Okay, yeah, I can see why you might want to do that. Oh, uh-oh. Prolonged periods in Umbral make your presence increasingly known to its inhabitants. The longer you spend in Umbral, the more dangerous the beings who hunt... What? Uh-oh. Wait, what is that eyeball? What is that? Why is that blinking? Oh, jeez. Oh, so many. Okay, watch it. Back up. Ooh, that's different. I don't know what that thing was. I didn't like it. I don't know if these things are hurting me. I don't trust any of these. Yes, no, I'm reading that tooltip. I don't like it. So far, I don't really dig the unlocked combat in this. Normally I can fight okay with them. But right now it doesn't feel particularly great. No. Do we have a tutorial boss coming up finally? Is this something I can siphon? I'm not sure. Oh, perhaps with this? Ah, okay. I see what that's done. Opened up that door that was protected by an Umbral creature of some sort. Use emergence effigies with X to emerge from Umbral and transition to Axiom. Yes, please. I do like how relatively seamless that is. That is pretty well done. R1 and L1 to kick. Okay, so we just Sparta them. That's all well and good. Am I supposed to be coming down here yet? Like, what are you trying to show me with my lamp? If I go back this way... Okay, really can't do anything. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I want to drop down there. Is my friend still close enough I can drop? You will be. That works. Okay, so now I'm back at the door. And this will probably be the tutorial, right? Abandoned red cops. Activate Vestige. Vestiges mark places where previous lamp bearers fell. Once activated, these serve as points of revival should you die in Umbral. Activated Vestiges can be warped between and used to beckon other lamp bearers. Oh, so this is your multiplayer. Vestige of Rannick. Desiccated Vestige Moth. I can upgrade character. I can rest. Might as well rest. And let's see. We have enough for exactly one level. That's fair. That's fair. Let's see what changes. So with strength, my attack is going to go up. Not by much because the daggers don't scale really with strength. Agility, that would go up a little bit. Let's see. What else changes though? Okay, so I think your defensive stats, just like in other games, they'll go up with every level. It's just somewhat dependent on the stat, but every level... Every stat will increase your defensive stats, okay? Strength also increases your burn and frostbite resistance. Agility changes your burn and frostbite resistance. Endurance, okay, same thing, but this one also adds stamina and weight. Vitality, of course, your health. 20 points is not bad. And weight. Radiance, your mana, and everything else. And you have Inferno, your mana, and everything else. Okay. I think probably some health right away is probably going to be a good idea. And that's all we can really do, but we did get an interesting moth here. It's a very bizarre looking moth. A desiccated umbral moth. Used to travel to the most recently used vestige in exchange for a sacrifice of vigor. Ooh, okay. So you lose all your vigor and you'll go back to a vestige. Every Souls-like has one. Now, do we have a tutorial boss here? And if so, can I try it before we call it a part? Oh, we actually have a map and a journal. Okay. Check that out. That's pretty cool. A map of Mornstead. And that's all the maps we have. And it looks like that might be all we have for the journal as well. Unless it's actually in my inventory somewhere. Oh, it is. A weather journal, a number of its pages missing. This journal belonged to Tacitus, a fearless explorer and cartographer who had traveled across the Oathlands and far beyond, eventually venturing into Mornstead, only to seemingly never emerge from the kingdom. I wonder if I'll collect pages. Yep, here we go. Okay, block. Block by holding L1. Block enemy attacks withers your health. Strike enemies to restore your wither health. So this is like a guard regain system. However, you lose it all instantly if you're struck. Okay. And here we go, the parry system. Parry attacks by pressing L1 just before impact to receive less wither damage. Okay, not no wither damage, but less. And deliver high posture damage to the enemy. An enemy's posture is reduced by any attack, each with its own posture damage, so experiment with all weapons and attack types. Once posture is depleted, stagger the enemy with a heavy charge attack R2, a parry L1, or a kick L1 and R1. Why would a parry? Stagger them. Deliver a grievous strike with R1. This is actually very similar to Lies of P. You have to break their posture and then knock them down, typically with a charge attack. Alright, boss time. Holy Bulwark Auto. Alright, Auto, what do you got? Okay, nice telegraph swings. Should we try a parry? That was not a parry. So there's our withered health. And now we just lost it all because we got hit. Oh, and we're getting bleed too. I really want to try a parry. Alright, let's heal. Oh, grab attack. Don't want that. Okay, we got that health back. That's good. Oh, but we're about to bleed. That's not good. Oh, there's a parry. Back up, back up, back up. We almost killed him, and I don't really want to kill him. I want to try to break his posture. There we go. And... oh, that's... okay, back up. Wow, that's a very, very short window. I guess... kick. Wait, what? What are we talking about here? What? Kick him! I guess that was the Grievous? I'm not sure. That didn't feel entirely right.
Give me that lamp.
Oh, no, thank you. I found it. Oh, the lamp. The light reaper. What? Where are you? You just keep disappearing? Oh, you're supposed to die here, aren't you? Well, I hope so, because I did. Wait, hold on. When you die, you get a second chance in Umbral form? Oh, I completely missed. Whoa. Well. Well, I guess I am supposed to defeat him because I'm back here. Well, I guess that'll have to wait. So this has been my introduction to Lords of the Fallen. Episodes are going to be coming daily, probably twice daily until we actually finish the entire game. But this first one, longer than most of the others will be. Typically about 30 to 40 minutes is my sweet spot, but I will try to find a nice natural break in between. So if you've made it this far and you're not subscribed, I would love it if you did so. Hit that subscribe button, join our Discord, hang out with us as we continue to learn this great game. Maybe we can actually even play together. But I'll continue this very, very soon. But thank you so much for watching. Hope you're still enjoying, and I will see you next time.